Welcome, Stun Runner.
What ho mofos. After my successful Luton event, I have now reached the pinnacle of being better than everyone else in the retro community. So now you can call me Mr. Atari, the king of all things retro. Please don't forget that I also write PDF books and still looking for a dumb publisher that I can con. While you jealous lot digest that, I am going to tell you about an 8-bit game called Light Force and rate it better than anyone else within this stinking community. Of course, I will refer to my website, Wikipedia, as it's where I live, unless I am under my bridge trolling people. Light Force is a 1986 vertically scrolling shooter designed by Greg Follis and Roy Carter. It's developed by their company Gargoyle Games, and published under their Faster Than Light imprint. It was released for the Amstrad CPC, Commodore 64, and ZX Spectrum platforms. Light Force is the first game published under Gargoyle Games' Faster Than Light label. The company's co-founder Greg Follis explained that Faster Than Light was originally the title of the game, but he considered it too good to waste. The game was the first to use lasermation for the graphics, which was described by Gargoyle director Ted Heathcote as a new technique for showing really vivid high-speed animation. The player controls a spaceship which must defeat waves of attacking enemies in 5 different levels. Light Force received positive reviews from video games critics, later being ranked as one of the best games for the Spectrum by multiple gaming magazines. The game was a commercial success, with the Spectrum version debuting at number 2 in the UK sales charts. Now that I have filled your little tiny minds with that info, I think it's time to have a look at the 3 ports. The Amstrad CPC really shines with very colorful graphics and good scrolling. Sadly, the sound is lacking, so I would suggest you put on your favorite 80s music. I like to put on the Final Countdown by Europa. It really gets me in the mood, and as I am killing everything on the screen I sing to the song, which pisses off the neighbors, but they are just jealous of my singing and superior games playing. Just like with all of these versions, the controls work well and does what it should. I just wish there was music as you played. On the Commodore 64, the best bit is the Rob Hubbard music. It's now a classic SID chiptune for all those C64 fanboys, but I think it could be done better on my Atari 800. The game is let down by the drab graphics, and you will also notice the ship is a bit big for the game. Dodging the bullets and sometimes the enemy is almost impossible. As you would expect with the C64, it has super smooth scrolling. The specky fanboys can expect a solid shooter. What they got out of this game is nothing short of amazing. Graphically, the graphics are detailed and colorful, and it has decent scrolling. Again, it's the sound that's a problem, with some farts and queefs. Remember, this was in the same year as the launch of the ZX Spectrum 128K, and I feel this should have had some music like my Steve Davis Snooker 128. That game had some ripping tracks while you potted Steve's balls. One day I will release it and be the best ever programmer. Well, that's almost about it apart from the ratings, so here they are. So even though the graphics are not as good on the C64, it's still the best version, but only slightly. The Amstrad comes out second for the better graphics, and the Speccy is last, even though it's still a good game. I still think my Atari 800 would have done a better job than all of these fanboy systems. Well, I'm off to eat 10 packets of Wotsits which are all dipped in nacho cheese, later mofos.